don't know if it's right because this is what business is. It never always works. In fact, we were talking about this the other day. And so if you hear me, if you see me, give me something in the comments. Oh, we're already 22, so we must be on and live fast. And I'm sorry it took me so long to get on here. It was some technical difficulties. And let's talk a little bit about that before we even get started about how technical difficulties are. So in my mentorship, I have a guy, he bought a trailer. He got a heck, wow, that is way louder than, I don't know what happened there, of Ray telling me something. But about I'm a slacker. And so I was not a slacker. My computer all shut down and it didn't like working. You know how that goes. Everything wants to update stuff. And hey, you know what? It's all right. We're going to get this on the road and we're going to help you find ways to grow your business, right? And so this is something that I want to hit on talking about business growth sales, right? Why is this important and how can we use this for our best interest of it here? So with all of that said, tonight's book, I'm going back to this book, and I know I've hit on this book a lot, and there's a reason for it behind this book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. Right now, I'm actually going through this book chapter by chapter in the membership. So if you're in the membership, you can go through and follow chapter by chapter. And in this book, it talks a lot about how I've read the chapter again today, number 4. I've read all the chapters about 4 or 5 times, and it's talking about how to hire the rock star employee, right? How to find that rock star salesperson. You know, people don't think you can find that rock star salesperson, but there is a way that you can find that rock star salesperson. And so those are things that are in there that I would highly recommend you to break down each chapter. I know a lot of times and I do the same thing, right? We get on the book, we put it in our earbuds, and we're pressure washing, and we really don't write nothing down. We really don't take no notes. I mean, I know we take notes sometimes in the back of our brain, and by the end of the day, we done forgot that. And so it is important that we actually take action, right? If we don't take action, then it doesn't help us in the end. And so that's one thing that on this book I'm trying to get people is to take action, right? And so the one is chapter 2 and 3 that talks about training. And this is something that you can do, right? Write down those 15 scripts that you know that you're going to get. Have them written down. Have them so you go over them and you go over them and you go over them and you go over them. And when you do this, you will see how much it will help you out a lot. So before we get going here, we'll see who we got in the chat here. If you all are started pressure washing, let me know how much you've done so far this year. Now, I know we got some Florida people, and they're going to probably put us some big numbers in here, but that's fine. I love seeing big numbers. And they're in Florida, and guess what? They get to wash all year. Or you can be like Sean, and he's got snow up there right now. So let me know in here, how much have you done so far? And if you're just starting out, just put, I'm just starting out and I'm excited, right? Because we got to be excited of where we want to go. If we don't convince ourselves, and if we're not convinced ourselves that we're going to be successful, the likelihood of us being successful is very slim. And that's why I want you to be excited, and I want you to be pushing and trying to do everything you can do, and fighting and kicking and doing everything you can so that you can get this business up and running and being a success. He put, hallelujah, he's here. Yeah, I had a little technical difficulty. You know, it's just sometimes it's one of those days that you're just ready to take a big hammer and fix everything, right? The big hammer fixes everything. That woke us up. I presented today at BNI and absolutely killed it. Everyone talked about it afterwards. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mr. Jesse James, how are you doing? Good evening. That's right. Take action. 100%, man. That's what it's about. Watching from the beach. I'll take me some beach. Long needed vacation. John did $1,800 this week. That's awesome, right? We love celebrating our wins. I think a lot of times we forget about celebrating our wins. I think a lot of times we take it for granted and we don't celebrate our wins. you know, it's just one of those things that we have to celebrate our wins. So that way, otherwise, the Gap and the Gain is another great book. And the book talks about, we failed this month and we only got to 18,000 instead of 20,000. But we don't look back and say, man, look, we did $18,000 this month. Or this year we did 150,000, but I didn't do my 175, right? We worry about the gap versus what we have gained. And it is important that we make sure. 6,000, but 16 to book. Sweet, sweet, sweet. 825 today, 2,100. 2 jobs this year, barely above 40 degrees most days. I know. Today wasn't even much better. So that's what it happens. We open April 8th in Massachusetts. Here in Kentucky, starting out $1,100 so far. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Working on being the best year yet. Sweet. 8 so far this year. It's my first year. Got 5 more for the week. $6,500 with an average ticket of $934 for residential. We got Mr. Manny from Canadian. We did 1 indoor garage cleaning with an organic lead. Still have some snow on the ground. Did a landscape lighting demo. Sweet. $1,100 this year, part-time, only second year. About froze my rig this morning. I know, what was that all about? We woke up this morning and I woke up and I looked out the door and I'm like, did it snow out here? I was like, I better start my truck because I take my daughter to school and I'm like, what the heck is this going on, right? This is stupid. I don't want this cold weather. It was like 28 degrees or 29 degrees and it looked like snow on the ground. You're the real MVP king. All of those in the comments that helped along the way. Liberty, F-bomb. Hope you all are doing well this year. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about our sales process. Let's talk about the sales process. But, I was thinking about this a lot here lately. And because in this book, it talks about the sales process. And it's one of those things that, I started a journey a couple months ago in January. And I actually started this journey in about September or October last year. So last year I decided I'm going to get my dive instructor so I can be a dive instructor. So I'm on a thing called Water Rescue that is our local water rescue here. And so I'm going to become a dive instructor. And so through that, I started swimming 2 to 3 times a week. And through that, from there in October, I found out that I don't breathe very much when I sleep. So they put me on a CPAP. And when I put me on that CPAP from about October to January 9th, I had gained like 20 pounds, like pretty quickly. And I'm like, this ain't good. So I had decided that I was going to change my way I ate or eat, whatever you want to call it. And so I was like, I ain't going on a diet, right? And this is what we need to think about when we are growing our business. We're not thinking about, I'm going to start a business and I hope this business works out and I think this business works out. But it's one of those things that you have to change the way you think a lot of times. Because if we think that, oh, this is just going to, is this really going to do anything? Jason says you can make $100,000 out of it. You can do 50 grand. You can do whatever. You can do $25,000 part-time. You could be like Jason Hefner and doing 250,000 part-time, or you could be like Greg and he did, I think, 250, 280 full-time. You could be like Savannah and them, Andrew and Savannah, they did 750. You could be like Chris, he did 750 or 500, 600,000. You could be like Nathan here, he did 150 in pressure washing, and he's young, and you could be like this, right? And so, but the thing that most of those people that I've talked about aren't just being like, man, I hope this business is going to take off, right? We have to take action. And for us to take action, you got to get off your butt and you got to do things. And you got to do hard things sometimes. Sometimes you got to do things that you would never in your wildest dreams imagine that you might have to do. You better be fast swimmer, 7-foot reach every time you stroke. um, Now that's an exclusive club. Kentucky Redneck Dive Instructors. Proud of you, buddy. Yeah, I know. I'll have to come down to Florida and go diving somewhere you can actually see, because up here you can't see. And so that's kind of like business, right? We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know what pandemic might happen. I remember when 2020 happened and we didn't know, but that was some of the best time making money ever, because people are staying home and they're not spending it elsewhere. And guess what? They had money. And so these are things that you don't foresee. You could have took that as this is going to be the worst year ever. This is going to be it. But when we look at things negative, you can't look at it that way. As I've heard people say, is there's two ways of looking at things. You can look at it as negative, or you can look at it in abundance. And so like people in Florida, like, Raymond, he could have been like, there's just too much competition down here. You can't make no money down here. But he had $1 million business in Florida, right? Because you can look at things two different ways. You can look at there's abundance, or you can sit there and say, yep, there's just all this competition. You know what? If you're smart, you can work that competition. Chris had a person that's like, I need you to come help me, because he gave them his number because it was too big for him. And so when we build this right and we have the right abundance mindset, you will be successful. And so this abundance mindset needs to get into our sales too, because a lot of times we think with our own wallet of, well, I don't want to charge too much. That's $300-400. It's only going to take me an hour. And that's what we tell ourselves, because we're so scared to death to charge more. That, things are getting expensive. Ray keeps raising his prices down there in the power wash store because things are going up. Bleach has went from $3, $2 to $5, $6 in some places. And this is things that you have to think about when you are trying to grow your business. People always want to sit there and think, well, I can't do that at where I'm at because you can't make that. And like I said, Florida is the one of two highest places to have a business, whether you're in Florida or you're in Texas. Both of those have lots of pressure washers in them. But I know both places have made a bunch of money off of both of those places. And it's not by being cheap. If you want to be a cheap pressure washer and you don't want to sell high ticket, then you're probably going to go out of business. And this is something that you have to think about. I literally sent out a $10,000 quote on a residential the other day. Don't be scared. And this is awesome because this is the second person I had send me that they sent out an $8,000 to $10,000 quote in one day for one residential job. You got to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you will have a hard time to be able to sell. And so with this, there is a personality in you, right? You are a person of a personality, and you have different traits that some are good, some are bad for sales, right? And so there is a system that's called DISC that I've talked about many times, and I actually go through it in my class, and it tells us how we are as a person, things we like, things we don't like. Things that are, that are normal to us might not be normal to these people. And so when we are doing sales, we got to be able to read people. And so, I always talk about sales is not going and talking about the $10,000 job. Sales is going to find out what their husband's name is, what their cat's name is, what's their dog's name is, what do they like to do, and what's their pain point, why did they call you, what's aggravating them. It's not about the pressure washing. When you sell pressure washing, you're selling well, it only takes an hour. Why would I want to charge more than $100 or $200? Because it's not about the pressure washing. You can pressure wash up here. You can only pressure wash 8 to 9 months out of the year. You know why we charge what we charge? So we can get through the whole year and make money. And so when we're talking to the customer, a lot of this comes back from what Chris had said a couple weeks ago. What does your website look like? Does it look cheap? What does your social media post? Does it look cheap? What does your, how do you sound on the phone? Is it cheap? This is way some people, hello? Yeah, I'd like to have some pressure washing. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, we can do that. What do you need? That sounds cheap, right? We're not flowing. We haven't done what this book says to do and write down your 10 things and have that down so good that it's just systematically coming out of you. It's not even memorized. It's just systematically coming right out of you. It just flows. It just comes right out to you. And you can say, hello, this is Jason with King of Pressure Wash. How may I help you on this beautiful day? Oh yeah, I need some pressure washing. Can you help me with that? Absolutely, we can help you with that. You know what? Tell me a little bit about your project, right? And we're going to get that information out. Because when we talk about tell me a little bit about your project, guess what else I might find? I might find why they're calling me, right? Why did you call me? Because if I know they want the pressure washing done, but if I find out they're calling me because they have a party this weekend and they have some urgency, and guess what? I can help them get it done. Or I can help them get that done because they have the HOA, and if they don't get it done by Friday, they're going to get a ticket. And so when we are doing this, this is why we sell customer service. We are not pressure washing companies. We are customer service companies who happen to pressure wash. And this is so important. This phone right here is the number one thing that you got to do. In sales, if you don't answer this phone, why are you spending money on building a rig? You know, I see so many people go out of business. They bought this nice $20,000, $30,000 rig, and they won't spend a dime in marketing. Why? Because they don't see that money going, and that's what happened there. So this is something that you have to think about when you are growing your business. And Ray, you need to come on sometime in the next couple of weeks. Let me know when you want to come on. It's not fun to say, but made $20,000 in 4 months from pressure washing for the first time in business. All that money went to pay off a probation, and now I'm off now, and I have no money for advertising. Sucks. And then, so what can we do about that, right? Well, hopefully we have lots of pictures that we did. We have lots of different things. If you did that in pressure washing, right? So that way we can start selling. We did our stuff to grow our Google My Business. We tried to get our reviews. We did all of those things because those are free things and those doesn't cost us anything. And so if we did those things right, then business will start coming. We ask for referrals. We do all of that stuff, right? Those are things that we have to do to keep us moving forward. You have to answer the phone to get jobs. You know, this is the number one thing. I see so many freaking people that don't answer their phone. I hear it all the time. I see it, I hear it, and I don't even know what to tell you because I want to pull my hair out, and I don't even have a whole lot of hair to pull out anymore. It's like falling off. You know, you hit those years and it just starts falling off. And if you hit too careful, it'll start falling off really bad like that guy there. But you got to answer your phone and answer it professionally. And if you don't know how to answer it professionally, then learn, try it, do it record yourself, record the phone call. You know, my system that I'm doing, I'm recording phone calls. Why am I recording those phone calls? So that when you say, Jason, you don't give me no business with your website, and I'm going to say, yes, I do. Let's go hear your phone calls and how stupid you sound sometimes, right? And I know that sounds harsh, but Sometimes you need harsh love to be able to move forward, because some people think they're the God's gift here, and I can prove that you're not the God's gift of it. I'm not the God's gift of pressure washing, right? I'm just somebody that's been in it for 10 years, and I love doing what I do, and I love helping people make money, and that's my whole goal. My whole goal is to help you guys grow your business, get to the next level, have time freedom, have financial freedom, so that you can do whatever you want to do. Because I understand, I know the grind. I remember working and making $30,000 a year as a full-time firefighter, and we were so far in debt, it wasn't funny, and we barely got to do anything. We didn't get to do anything because we were already in debt when I first got married, right? I got divorced, lost a bunch of money there, and then we got married. We had a kid within a year, and we had lots of bills. We were almost $30,000 in debt. And so it was more than $30,000 in debt. And so these are things that we had to come out of so that you can get that bondage off of you, so then you can have freedom and you can do what you want to do. You know, I know Savannah and Andrew, there were one in here that when they started this business, they had so much debt and they were able to get debt free. Guess what? When you're debt free, it makes a lot of things a lot easier at the end of the day. It makes a lot of things a lot easier. So what are some ways that we can do this to help us grow our business? One is, you know, I talked about, what does our website look like? Does it look like we are a professional? We have all this? Or does it look like we don't have anything, right? We have these amazing, beautiful before and after pictures. People give two craps about those crappy trailer before and after pictures. I'd rather you put a big, nice $1 million house on there than a crappy before and after picture. People don't care about that. Most people that your customers, their houses aren't even dirty. Imagine that. Do you know people that you want to be your customer don't even have dirty houses, right? We just come and knock off some cobwebs and stuff and move on. And we get the money, you know, that's what we're doing. And so when we do this, we need to build a good online thing, whether it's social media, website. We need to build content so people can come to our website and get educated. And here he has a whole book, whole chapter talks about educating the customer. It's not about selling the pressure washing. If you try to sell the pressure washing, you're not going to you're not going to be very successful, right? Find out what is their pain point. Start telling people that, did you know you have living stuff growing on your house and that it can cause issues? And go find the statistics of that kind of stuff. And guess what? And educate them about this. And now we're not just pressure washing the green off. Now we're actually can go through the steps that we're going to do, that how we're going to sanitize their house, and their house will be nice and sanitized after it's done, right? But even then, we're not selling that. I got to get that out of your all's head. But these are things that you can do to do that. And then obviously know your target audience. Know where your customers are. Go on the map and find out where your customers are. Justice Map. You can go on EDDM and find it on there. And that way you will know where your customers are. And sometimes people think that they got to drive a long way. And a lot of times you don't, guys. A lot of times you don't have to drive real far. So we can scroll in here and we can see where these rich people are, right? So up here in Indianapolis, if you didn't know it, look, up here is like where the really rich people are. Let me zoom out back here so you can see how rich these crazy people are here. So these people here that I just clicked, their average income's $133,000, right? We go to another blue one here, 134,000, 132, right? We got the south side of Indy, it's 107, 100. You know, obviously we're not probably going to get a lot of money out of these people here because their average income's only 35,000. But do they work there? So that's the thing about when we run ads, things like that. You know where your neighborhoods are. Know where you want to be at and where you don't want to be at. Cincinnati, this was one of my honey holes. This was one of my honey holes right here. So we had Union, Kentucky, which this is Triple Crown. We have Hebron, Kentucky, and then I went up here, and this was all my money holes. 170,000, 125,000, 130,000, 115,000, right? 120,000, 129,000, 142,000. Did I have to travel up here? Yes. I live down here in this area, and I had to travel up there. It's about, depending on traffic, it's an hour drive. I actually had one shop that was in this area right here, right in this area. It was actually in this area right there. And so that shop was 45 minutes away for me to drive up there. But guess what? My GMB does amazing because it's up there. And guess what? I still see the statistics of that GMB, and it still does amazing. It hasn't had nothing done to it in 5 years, and it still does amazing. It has crazy insights when we look at it, because look, this is my money hole. This is all money up here. All of this is money. Every bit of this is money up here, right? This not much over here, but we get up in here, you know, we're almost at $90,000 to $100,000 everywhere we go in here. And this is actually old data. This isn't even new data. This is data from 2020, I believe it is. 2020 is when this data is. So this data is actually 3 years old. So some of these could be updated. So where is your target audience? Do you know where your target audience is? Or are you guessing where your target audience is? When you know where things are, guess what? It makes things a lot easier. Do you know what your target audience looks like, sounds like, ask questions like? Do you know if they're male or female? They're probably female. They're probably anywhere from 30 to 50 years old, right? Know what they look like. So when you start talking marketing, you're not like, pressure washing. I do pressure washing, right? Because they don't care if you do pressure washing. How do you connect with them? Do you connect with them saying pressure washing before and after? Pressure washing before and after, pressure washing before and after. Or do you build that rapport of, hey, are you a mom that has 2 kids and your husband is working all the time and you need your house washed, right? Because we're hitting on what they are. How many kids do they have? How many dogs do they have? How many cats do they have? Those are things that you find out that will help you a lot in the sales process. And I mean a lot. Let's see here. Where did my sheet go? I don't know what I do with it. All right. So, but that's what we can do. Have to answer the phone. Gino, been down that road years ago. Clean state, brother. Clean slate. Time to grind and never look back. You know, you're not the only one. I was actually talking to Greg Townsend, and if you haven't been on the channel, he's been on the channel in his very early years of pressure washing, and he's been clean, I think, a little over 6 years. Been to prison, been, you know, like prison 5 years, I don't know, something crazy. And didn't have nothing, had nothing. Literally started out of his back of his 92 F250 with a he didn't even have a pressure washer when he started. He went and borrowed the neighbors, and so he started doing some driveways. I remember him giving me the call saying, man, I'm gonna have you build me this rig, blah blah blah. And I'm like, just keep grinding, man. Don't worry about a rig. You can make a lot of money out of the back of your truck. And he did. He made it to over 100,000. He did buy him a 4 gallon a minute, 4 gallon a minute, and that got him to over 100 grand. Just running a 4 gallon a minute, hand jacking hoses, hand jacking pressure wash hose, hand jacking garden hose, right? And it got him to over 100 grand a year. It wasn't easy. It wasn't something glorious, but he did it. And you know what? He did like 250 last year. In his 3rd year of pressure washing business, literally changed his whole life. He helps people. He loves coaching kids, and he goes coaches every day at 4 o'clock, right? He gets done by 4 o'clock, and he goes coaches. And so that's what's awesome about what you can do as owning a pressure washing business. What's your pricing per square foot? Depends on what you're talking about. I got a hard on to answer the phone, one ring and pick up, right? The faster we get it, the better off we are, to be honest. You know, a lot of people will let that thing ring and ring and ring, and that's what kills you, right? It's important because when you pick up on ring one or two, it tells you, it's those little details that we're telling our customer. When it rings and we pick up on that first second, it tells them that we want to talk to you, right? We are here to help you. We're not trying to put you off another 2 seconds so we can do something, but we're here to help you. We're here to grow. We're helping you get whatever done. You know, another thing is not just answering that phone, but follow up, man. Follow up. You know how many people do not follow up? That's another one that drives me nuts. The following up is like, come on, guys, follow up. It makes a difference. All those little things will set you apart from your competitor. And when you do the follow up and you do the here we come and here's the pictures and here's the after pictures and thank you and here's a thank you card and here's ask for a review and a referral and thank you again. You're an awesome customer. You're an amazing customer. Do you know anybody else that's amazing? Give me another referral, right? We do all those things because that's what sets us apart from our competitors. That's what makes you grow. And, you know, as customer service, you want to deliver exceptional customer service. Go a step beyond. If their expectation is here, you put it up here, right? Because they're like, wow, he did all of this for me. Man, that's amazing. And when we do that, we will build trust and loyalty with our customers. And so when we talk about our referrals, guess what? They will send us referrals, right? They will give us encouraging referrals and they will give us encouraging reviews. You know, a lot of times if you do it right, you will make more money off your referrals than you did your regular customer. Your average ticket for referrals should be higher than anything else. And if you're not asking for those referrals, and if you're not doing those little things that set you apart to help get you those referrals, then that's your fault, right? What are you doing to set yourself apart from your competition? And you might say, Jason, I'm just starting out and I don't know what to do. Then start learning how to be the best customer service out there. Answer your phone. Say you do whatever you say you're going to do it on time, before time. Otherwise, you're late. That ain't good either. Use customer feedback for your help, right? Hey, this is what Miss Jones says. Miss Jones said that I'm the best pressure washer ever. Guess what? That's way better than me saying it. Miss Jones saying it. You know, that's like me talking about Greg Townsend and Jason Hefner. Is it better for me to talk that, or is it better for them to be on here and they say how awesome it is to be in that spot, right? So that's the same thing with our customers. That's what we want to be able to push, and that's what we want to do so that way we can keep it. What's better, someone who is really good at pressure washing or someone who is really good at business? Who's going to make more? You know what? This is an awesome question. Because I hear so many times and I've seen so many people put videos on here from the gurus, right? The YouTube gurus. And I'm not going to name them, but the YouTube gurus, I will about guarantee the person that knows how to run a business is going to double the person that knows how to really be a really good pressure washer, right? And I know that I'm going to get hate for that, but that's all right. You know what else about this right here? You should be able to work on your own rig. Okay, you should be able to do a $15 an hour task. Or I can go learn I know how to do the $300, $400, $1,000 hour task. And guess what? I don't need to know the nuts and bolts of the machine, right? I can pay somebody to do that for $50, $75 an hour. While they're doing that, I could go make $300, $400, $500 an hour. So the person that's the best pressure washer in the city is probably the brokest pressure washer in the city. If you really want to get to see who the best pressure washer is probably the brokest pressure washer. Why? Because he's so good, he can't even get off the truck. Right? He can't get off the truck because he don't know business. He don't know his numbers. because he's worried about, man, when I'm done with every job, man, there ain't a speck of dirt on there. I go around 4 times. I take my rag around 4 times and I go through with a fine tooth comb, making sure every spot is taken off. I got a magnifying glass so I can make sure that mold is dead in there, that I didn't leave one spot, man. I am the best pressure washer ever. You want to know what? I had callbacks. Jason had callbacks. You know, you can be the best pressure washer. Don't get me wrong. You can be the best pressure washer and you suck at business, you're going to be broke. Because people don't know their numbers. When people don't know their numbers, they don't know their numbers they probably haven't answered their phone. They don't know what their average ticket is. They have low average tickets. They don't know what it costs to run a business. They don't know all of their costs. They're like, yeah, my machine cost me 10 grand. That's all I have in this business. Well, what about insurance, gas, marketing? Most of those people, they don't have no marketing cost. I'm the best pressure washer, and all I get is referrals. I'm word of mouth, my number one. And when you start talking to them, you figure out that they make $20,000, $30,000 and they think they're good. Now, there is some that's the best pressure washer and they've been in business for 20 years and their phone will ring and their average ticket's under $500. I can show you a couple of them right now. I'm not going to point them out, but I know a couple of them that have been in business forever and their average ticket's $500. Because, man, you got all these new people coming in here. They're just trying to lower all this down here, right? Because that's what their mindset is. That's what they believe. That's what they think. They haven't taken no classes. They haven't learned because they're too stupid to know that I'm the best pressure washer. I'm going to give you another instance. It ain't pressure washing. It's Christmas lights. So Fred Zimmerman, I started doing some videos and he's like, Jason does these stupid videos and it's just basic stuff. Well, that's all you guys like to watch is the basic stuff. You don't like watching the stuff about growing your business. And so that's how you get views. So you got to get the views for you to be able to teach the better part of this, right? And I'm sorry to say that, but that's just the way the YouTube gods are and the algorithms. And I had my dose of looking at my competitors. They're blowing up, but they go after the views. And that's fine, but I'm going after you starting and growing a business, and I want you to be successful. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to sell you equipment. I'm not trying to sell you, I am started trying to sell marketing a little bit because I get tired of seeing people getting screwed there too. And so that's what I'm here to help you grow your business, And so when I see these people and I hear it, I'm just like, you're right, bro. You're right. You can't make it. There's too much competition, right? Too much competition. But what have you done in the last 20 years to change anything? Well, I haven't done nothing. Okay, that's my point. I don't need to say anything else. I don't ask for reviews. I don't ask for referrals. I have a customer list of 5,000, 10,000 people, and business just keeps coming. Right? So when you know how to run a business, you can be like Ray and hit $1 million in Florida with 200,000 people in it. You can do amazing things. You are an amazing person and you can do amazing things. You might have to travel some. You might have to go a little bit further out of your distance than you want to, but you can do it. All right, that was a long one. I'm doing $50 kickback to the customers that refer new customers with approved estimates, and it really works. It does. Imagine that. Jason said, look, here's some gift cards. Then you can do $25. You're doing $50. If your average ticket is average of $500, I would absolutely do a $50 ticket. If my average ticket is over $50, why wouldn't I? Am I going to lose some that gives me the $300 jobs? Yep. Am I going to win some that give me the $1,000 job? Yep. Listen to Jason. Big Corey. just finished work in Australia, big driveway, $500 hour work. Then it peed down. Who do you recommend to build GMB, CRM, etc.? Website. Well, one thing, website's not going to get you business. The GMB will help you. And a CRM, depending on what you have right now, let's get started basically. You can use yard books, it's free. You can use different things like that. You can also go to King of Marketing if you want. And I don't have the CRM part of it down yet. It's coming. It will be here shortly. And you can do the 97 will be the template website, but that's not going to get you your GMB. If you do the 297, I can help you with your GMB and all of that stuff. And I'm actually going to be starting a little bit more in that there. It is about 3 to 4 weeks before it will get built because I'm already getting backed up. I may have to do what I say, raise my prices. Hey, I recommend Jason for website. For CRM, I use Jobber. If I switched, it would be to Mark Kate. Server. Thanks for the super chat. I think. How did you pay a month for that shop? How much did I pay a month for that shop? It was like $1,800 for that shop. And we stayed there like 9-10 months. And then we moved to another shop that was bigger because we ran out of room there. It's called a buyer persona. You're right, bro. So if you, I want to tell another secret. Who all wants to know a good secret? Some of you may already know it. Who wants to know a good secret? Let me know if you want to know a good secret. I will give you a good secret. I will give you a good secret. Who wants a good secret? Anybody want a good secret? All right. This is some Monday night marketing stuff that I usually give this out on Monday night marketing stuff, is what this that I'm doing right now. But I'm going to be generous and I'm going to be nice and I'm going to give it out to you tonight. So if you go to ChatGPT and you download this app, it's called AIPRM Premium. I've got the premium version. It gives you a little bit more. And you can write anything you want to write through ChatGPT. And if you're on the $20 one for ChatGPT, you can get ChatGPT 4 and you can use it for ChatGPT 4. And so what he was talking about, you got it, is you can come in here and search and put in buyer persona. I believe this is the one I used, the last one. And you click on it and then you just put right in here, what do you sell? Pressure washing services in Cincinnati, Ohio. And you click it. And now it's going to tell me who my customer is probably going to be. It's probably going to be slow because it's on here, but that's all right. And I'll just talk while it's doing it. So it gives us a couple tables. It gives us demographics. It gives us who they look like, what they are. And so it can help you figure out who your thing is. So they're actually saying it's John Smith. He is 45 years old. His occupation is a business owner, or it could be anything. His average income is $80,000, and that's a good spot, right? We want him to be up 80. He's married. He probably has kids. Isn't that funny? I said that they're married. They have 2 kids. The only thing I said is it was a chick instead of a dude so far. And so, look, 10 and 14, so they're in the age of getting sports. So this here will sit there and write all of this information here. So this is how you can start looking at that and start selling that, right? This is what we can do, so that way you can keep and know what we're looking for. Most people don't even have a clue what they're looking for. And then what we can do is we can take this and we can start profiling our people and say, are these people all organized, attention to detail? Look, the hobbies, they play golf. I bet most of your customers like to play golf. Interest, probably not home improvement, maybe home improvement, probably sports, local, maintain a well clean, right? It's telling me what my people want. And if you want to know what it is, again, I'll bring it back here. It is if you type it in, they just went to a charging one, but it's AIPRM premium, and you can sort. I mean, I did that, but if I back out of here and just search, there's like thousands of these, 2,300 props there. So there's thousands, hundreds, a bunch of them. So that's what your nugget of the night is. Don't say I never give you anything for free. What site is it that the map? Yeah, it's called Justice Maps or USPS. Yep. Knowing your customer avatar sure helps. Saves marketing money, not just aiming blind. Proud Dad. Nathan, do you have to pay for B&I up front? You can go to 3 meetings of any of them. And so I would say go to the 3 and see which one you like. Don't just go to the first one and pick it. Try to find like the best one in there. Once you start going to a couple of them, you'll know which one's the better one. Hey, just started your channel, has helped me so much. I am in the high dollar South Florida with a lot of competition. I was thinking my best approach is to nailing my neighborhood out. Can you talk about Google ad packages? So right now I have in the King of Marketing, I have 2 different ones. And I'm going to put them all on here. I'm working on it. It won't happen this week because I got class on Friday. And if anybody wants to come to pressure washing class and learn, I had people sign up today. I had people ask me if I can sign up. There's still spots. You can go check it out at pressurewashhelp.com/in-person training or whatever. But the AdWords, you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/AdWords, and that will give you the one-time setup. So I set it up and I send you a video of how to run it. If you want me to run it, right now I'm at $1,000 a month. That gives you a website, that gives you the callback forms, that gives you the text, that gives you the follow-up, that gives you all of that stuff. It's going to give you an estimator. If you don't have the estimator, it will give you an estimator. So if someone puts in certain amounts, it will give them a quick, it'll tell them real fast how much it is. It's kind of a halfway knockoff of ResponsiBid, right? It'll say basic package is house wash, middle package is this, and the last package is this. So you'll be able to put packages in there. And so these are things that you will be able to do with that. Right now it's sitting at 1,000. I may lower that to just doing Google AdWords. I haven't decided on it yet. Put out 100-yard signs on Friday night and landed a $13,000 residential job with an in-person in Florida, right? That is freaking awesome. Money, that was an amazing money bush. That $4 money tree grew like no other, man. It was flourishing, right? It was just saying, you have some money and you have some money and you have some money. Awesome, man. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. MSDS book in hand with all insurance information, Google reviews, and all. Guy said I was more prepared than the roofer that put his roof on last month. Right? You look professional, man. You look professional. You act professional. You show up professional. You look high. You look high. Guess what? You are high. And I ain't talking about high on drugs. If you're adding another location to your GMB, how likely is it to get suspended? Depends on, it just depends on, is it a commercial building? Is it residential? Depends on how your landing pages are. All of that has stuff in it. That's just a bonus. Wheat poles, yeah, those are awesome. We love wheat poles, especially in the spring. What are the easiest upsells, like streak-free windows? Or sell them on a walkway, driveway as well. So obviously exterior window cleaning is, and I like driveway cleaning. Them are my 2 go-tos. Thanks, Jason, so much for the information. Thanks for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. Watch the video of yours about yard signs. Don't make you money sitting in the garage. I said, crap, Jason. Knows mine have been in there for 2 weeks. Got them out last week and picked up 2 new jobs. Sweet. I turned wrenches on multi-million-dollar aircrafts for years, building a rig, nothing to it. Sales, marketing, overcoming objection, those are my issues. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, and that's the truth, man. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable because you're going to do things that are not in your comfort zone. And it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. But you know what? You can do it. I promise you can do it. I do. Good secret. You see the video of the guy asking GT4 how to make 7,000 with no idea. I haven't seen that one yet. Mr. High C, Jason, I asked this a few weeks ago, but I missed your response. Mindsaw said not to cut and paste GPT from into website. Why? Because it can get caught through detection that it's AI. I tried to run it through like Grammarly or something and change it. Depending on what AI you're using, probably here lately, I've been seeing people, and it's whoever runs the system. I've been seeing people that actually handwrite stuff is say that it's AI and the other stuff not. So you also talking with past customers will help you get your buyer's journey as well. You know, in this book, I'm going to bring it up again because I love this book. It's a good book. I'm going to push it on you. Read it, listen to it, whatever. He talks about they did a contest to see who could get the most information out of that person, who could get their kids' names, their grandkids' names, their everything, you know, what color car they drive, what other cars do they drive, what's in the garage, right? Because the more we know about them, the easier it is to sell. And we can sell to other people at that point. Does premium get you GPT-4? Yes, it does. If you show up to an estimate and they have a Kentucky flag flying at the front porch, you're going to talk pressure washing. No, we're going to talk about UK basketball and how bad they freaking suck. That's what we're going to talk about, right? We're not talking about pressure washing. We're going to talk about their grandkids. We're going to talk about Kentucky. Can you believe that? And I don't even watch basketball. Can you believe them? They lost. And they'll tell you how they lost and everything. Man, that's just crazy, isn't it? You know, and you're going to ask little questions. Get them talking some more. We want them talking. The more of them talking, the better off you're going to sell them, as long as you're listening. Now, I know some people, they're like, all right, let's see. I need to talk about this. And they're over here talking. I need to talk about that. I need to make sure I get this. Do you need your house washed? Do you want your window cleaned? And we're not even talking about that. Why are we talking about it? Listen, talk to them. Ask little questions to pull information from them. It will help you out in the long run so much. I promise you. Not sure about the book, though. CRM Marquette, GMB is list for free yourself. Now, the thing about GMB, you're right to this to a point. GMB used to, you go, you list, you get up. But now you really want to have a website. You want to start having your citations. You want other things so they don't get suspended, because the likelihood of it getting suspended right out of the get-go is pretty high. Pretty high. Awesome job tonight, Jason. Good job hitting on the good job not hitting on the gossip. Yeah, I feel sorry. Only thing I'm going to say about that is I feel sorry for people. And I know there's people in my membership, and I don't know what to tell you. It's just, I know the guy. I'm not going to go on it. I'm going to stay away from it. Shut up and listen. That's why God gave you 2 ears and one mouth to listen, twice as much as you talk. 100%. 100%. What about talking to them through Messenger? Anyway, right? If you can talk through Messenger, some people, my wife don't like to talk. She would much rather text. She would much rather get it all through the online, right? And that's another way. You know, that's why if you have your website done, if you have a good website and you have you go through the book, they ask you answer, you read the chapter in here talking about education, they know everything they need to know. And when they call you, it's just at that point, they already know the information because you already educated the customer. So they don't need to educate themselves anymore. And so this is why it's important. That's what is important. How you feel. Sorry if you asked, just tune out your love work. I love your work. I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know. I don't know anybody that uses it. I know they're buying lots of reviews and they're giving away, gosh dang, they're giving away a lot of stuff to try to get reviews and try to get people on. And if it's that great, you shouldn't have to do that. I know Marquette works. I know Jobber works. I know Yard Books works for free if you're starting out of a budget. Lots of people want to text now. I found to talk to them how they contact you is best and ask them, right? I actually have so I'll show you one other thing here. Let me see if I can find it here. I have like 57 tabs open here. So that way it makes it a lot easier when you'd have 57 tabs open. I didn't know if you all knew this or not. So that way you just get real confused. So this is one of my new websites. You can go check it out, harrispowerwash.com. Go click on all the stuff. But, right, we have a little chat widget down here, and people are using this and doing the chat widget. And so this is something that you can do for the chat widget. It is important to have it on your website. It is important that you have that on your website. But yeah, if you want to see the new websites out, this is my latest one I did. I'll probably be sending an email out about it. This right here, if you don't have on your website, put it on there. Frequent asked questions, right? We're answering those questions that people have because that's my whole goal, right? That's for there. If I go to another page and I go check in, roof cleaning, I got roof cleaning or house washing questions down here at the bottom, right? Because how often, right? I'm giving them the information that they're looking for. How often should it be cleaned? What is soft washing? Can you pressure wash, or can a pressure washer damage my roof? What are black streaks on my roof, right? We're answering those questions. So we're educating the customer, right? I don't just have a sales page of trying to sell something without educating the customer. And so it's important that we educate the customer. Educate the customer is very good thing to do. Are you educating your customer or are you not? If you want to go check out kingofpressurewash.com, there you can find all my online stuff. I have everything online. The whole thing, if you want to start and grow a pressure washing business, it's all online there. Also, if you want to come to an in-person training, you can go to kpwtrain.com. John Zeke was there at my last one. It was awesome. People chat while they're at work. It was awesome. I do have a few open for Cincinnati. It's actually in Cincinnati. It's not in Cincinnati. It's 10 minutes from the Cincinnati Airport. Cincinnati Airport's in Northern Kentucky if you've never been here. You can go check that out. And then also, I will be having more stuff. Oh, one other thing too. If you want to know when Jason goes live, you can text King. Don't put the parentheses in there. You can text King, K-I-N-G, to 859-696-1101. I will text 2 to 3 minutes before I go live. So then that way you will be able to get that. When are you doing a permanent light install? I've actually, I was going to do that this weekend, but there was some confusing going on. And so we may try to do one in May or June, but I don't know exactly 100%. Traction, extreme ownership are good for that, in my opinion. Absolutely 100%. I haven't actually read all of Traction yet. I have it, but I never read it. How do you go about speaking on the fly? Today I wasn't working. Had my kids with me at the grocery store. When I was stopped, I kind of just said, yes, I do know how to talk on the fly. Yes, I didn't know how to talk on the fly. So how do we good question? So in this book, he talks about writing down 10, 20 different things about each step. So whether it's on the phone, what's the objection? How to overcome your wife, or how to overcome your wife. Well, I don't know how to overcome that because she's going to She got all the power anyway. But how do you overcome that? You got to talk to the spouse. All right. Write down that script. Figure out a script and write it down and memorize it so much that you not only memorize it, but it's systematically. It just comes out. It just flows. And you practice and you practice and you practice with someone else and you practice with another buddy and you practice on video. And before long, it will just flow for you. And that's how you do it. You know, in my in-person class, last time I did one thing, and I'm going to do it again this time too, is everybody's going to do the door script when you knock on the door and talk. One person will be the customer, one person's going to be the person out there. So that way we start practicing on our door script, and then we're going to go and we're going to on Sunday or on Saturday when we do it, we're going to have one person be the person on the phone, the other person answering the phone, right? And we're going to put people up in front of people. And I know people hate being up in front of people, but the reason why I do it is if you can be comfortable doing it there, then you will be comfortable when someone comes over to you and says, hey, can you give me a quote? And you're like, yes, I can give you, right? And I'm not trying to make fun of you, Jarrett, but I know the feeling. I've been there. I've felt that feeling. It's like all these butterflies are coming in my stomach and I'm about ready to puke because somebody wants me to do something and I don't know what it does, right? But I want you to do this. And so in my in-person class, we are doing more of the talking back and forth. So then that way you will get more comfortable. And it also, when you see other people make mistakes and you see other people struggling, it's not so bad when you do it, right? Because they're doing it and I can do it. And that's the reason why I do that for. Smash the like button. I feel like I'm with my children. It's different. I don't have time to explain why washing your house is good. My problem is my work truck is my everyday truck. Here's the thing. Well, why are you talking about explain why house washing is good? Again, we talk to them, we build that relationship, and that's how we do that. My bad, Jason. Just got home. High Point, soft wash from Springfield, Florida. Mark Schaefer. If I use 12.5% using XJet with 4-gallon a minute machine, will it clean a dirty roof? I don't do enough roofs to warrant to buy it. You can go straight and then throttle it down. If the lower the GPMs we come, the higher the percentage we can get up to. So if we get down to like 2 gallons, I think it's 2 or 3 gallons a minute, at that point, we're almost 1-1 at that point. But you kind of got to throttle it down so that way it'll pull more. But hope you all have an awesome week. I'll see some of you this weekend, and I can't wait to see you all and help you grow and get amazing. So have an awesome day, and we'll see you all later.